Hi guys, and welcome to the first episode of our A Lot on Her Plate Throwback Thursday series. In each episode, I'm going to be taking a classical dish and reinventing it with a modern twist. And we're starting with something really summery today, a peach Melba cake, which is why I've brought us outside to make this recipe. So peach Melba is a classic combination, and it's a dessert invented by the famous French chef Escoffier in 1892. He was cooking at the Savoy Hotel in London at the time, and there was a famous soprano called Nellie Melba who came over from Australia to perform at Covent Garden. So he invented this recipe in her honour, and it's peaches with raspberry sauce originally. So what I've done is I've taken that lovely summery combination of peaches and raspberries, and we're baking it into a beautiful moist cake with some flaked almonds and some vanilla essence. So you want to start off by just preheating your oven to 180, and while that's getting nice and hot, you can prep your fruit for this recipe. So I'm using flat peaches, which I love because they're really plentiful at this time of the year. You can find them in your local greengrocer and in the farmer's market, and they have a really, really sweet flavour and a kind of slightly almondy note, which is really, really nice with this cake. So just going to start by cutting these down the middle and removing the stone. So just cut them all the way around and then give them a bit of a twist. And then you just want to carefully cut out the pip. Just pop it out. When you've prepared your peaches, you're just going to put them, I like to put them cut side down in the cake tin, and make sure you just grease that really thoroughly with some butter, and just arrange them all over the bottom of your cake tin. And when you turn the cake out, it's going to look really beautiful because you're going to have those peaches facing up along with these beautiful raspberries, which are going to stain the batter slightly pink. So it's going to look really, really beautiful, really summery. It's a really nice cake to do for a summer barbecue or a picnic. So I've got about 30 grams of flaked almonds, and I'm just going to scatter these over the fruit because what happens is it gives the cake a lovely crunchy texture as well, which works really well against the squishy summer fruit. Then you need to make the batter. So crack 4 eggs into a bowl. Add 100 grams of caster sugar and whisk it up until it's nice and frothy and totally combined. And then add in 100 ml of plain whole milk and a tablespoon of olive oil. And you want to add about a teaspoon of vanilla essence, and then just give it another whisk to combine it all. So that's your wet ingredients for your batter, and then you need to just assemble the dry ingredients. So we've got 100 grams of plain flour going into a nice big bowl with 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 200 grams of ground almonds, and a big pinch of salt, which is super important when you're baking, bring out the flavours. And then just give that a little bit of a stir just to combine the ingredients. And then you want to take your egg and milk mixture and just pour it into your dry ingredients. Ooh, quite windy. This is typical British summer weather we're having. And then just fold it in. Fold it in and try and lift some air into the mixture. And then once you've combined this into a nice smooth batter, all you're going to do is pour it over your fruit in the cake tin. Make sure that you sort of get it evenly distributed around the cake tin and over the fruit. Just give it a tap, and then it's ready to go in the oven. So we've taken our cake out of the oven and we've just let it settle on this wire rack for about 10 to 15 minutes and cool down so that we can handle it. And what we're going to do is just go around the edge with a palette knife. Take it out of your cake tin. I've got one of these handy loose bottomed ones, so just flip that out like that. take it off. And then I'm going to go round with my palette knife just to loosen it under here. I'm just going to turn it out now. So hold it like that, get a wire rack or something similar, put it on top there and flip it over like this. And then hopefully it will come away. You might have to just work at it a little bit with your palette knife and just make sure that it doesn't stick too much. So here we've got our peach Melba cake, and as you can see, the peaches have completely roasted and gone all soft and squishy, and the raspberries have turned into a sort of sauce. So what we've got is a really beautiful combination of the sweet peaches with the slightly sharp raspberry and the crunch of the flaked almonds and just the lovely soft moist sponge. So we're just going to cut a slice here and try it out for size. And I really like serving this with some vanilla ice cream because it's just, again, part of that classic combination. And a few extra flaked almonds and then a couple of extra fresh raspberries there as well. I can't wait to try this, so I'm just gonna get stuck in. You can see there the different layers. So you've got that lovely juicy peach layer there and the raspberries that have melted into the batter, and then you've got your lovely sponge underneath. So it's an upside down cake, but it's a pretty special one. So let's give it a taste. That is the taste of summer. Those beautiful sweet peaches which have just gone really, really soft, and with sharpness of the raspberry and the slight crunch from the raspberry seeds, and a beautiful buttery sponge. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the first episode of our Throwback Thursdays. If there are any old classical dishes that you'd like us to update and give a modern twist to, then please get in touch. We'd love to hear from you. And if you like the video, please subscribe. Looking good. Oh dear. Should we do it again?